Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope everyone are fine, no, and healthy also. So today I'm going to start a poem for sixth standard. The poem name is March. What is the poem name? March. Already I've completed one lesson. That is the first lesson. What was the first lesson name? The dog find his master. So I'm moving to what? The poem March. So before starting into the poem, I would like to explain you the meanings of this poem. So turn to your page number 12. You can see the glossary, no? Yeah, it is the meanings of the difficult words. So first one you have twitter. Twitter means of the bird. It is the sound of the bird. To make a number of short rapid sound. I think already you know how the birds make the sound, no? They start twittering. That is rapidly. Rapidly means continuously they start to make the sound. They start to twitter. They start to twitter. Did you understand, children? That is making a sound of short rapid sound. To make a number of short rapid sound, that is they are making the sound how? Continuously they are twittering. Okay, did you understand, children? Shall we move on for second one? That is doth. This is an old form of does. So before, it was in the olden days, it was does was in simple word, it means what does was before known as doth. So it is a old form of does. Okay, next we'll go for glitter. Shine brightly with the flashing point of light. Shine brightly with the flashing point of light. So almost know this. Glitter means, so have you seen the stars glittering in the night? So what? Shining. Shining brightly, that is glittering. So shine brightly with the flashing point of light. So you have seen once when you see to the sky, you can see the stars how they start shining or glittering. You can see the one time, another time it won't shine. So what you say for that? Glitter. What do you say for that? Glitter. So next one, shall we move on for fourth one? That is retreat. Go back, especially when forced to do so. Go back. So retreat means you are forced to do that work, especially when you are forced to do so. Go back. It is been forced for you to do this work. For next one is fare ill. Be unsuccessful. Be unsuccessful. So next one is plowboy. In olden times, a boy who leads a horse that is pulling the plow. You can see in olden time, even the horse or the cattle were used for plowing the field. That is, what do you mean by plowing the field? That is farming. What? During farming, even the horses were also used pulling the plow for. Once again, I'm going to repeat for you. In olden times, a boy who leads a horse that is pulling the plow. So, you can see the boy, it has been said here, that is a plow boy means who is the plow boy. So with the help of the horse, that is his, who with the help of the horse the boy is pulling the plow. So what pulling the plow means? During why do you use the plow? I think you have seen the where the plow is used, that is used in the fields. For what? For farming purpose. So did you understand, children? Nowadays you can see the cattles also. Now you have the modern equipment, that now you have machines. Now you have machine to plow the field in the that is for farming purpose. Next one, whoop. What is whoop? Make a loud cry. Whoop, it is not actually not loud cry. See, you can see as of joy. So here it is a sound. It is a sound. How? Make a loud cry as a joy. It is a sound of whooping. Sound of whooping. So fountain, a natural spring of water. Found next, that is found. What do you mean by fountain? I think you have seen when you receive any hilly station, you can see the mountain. In the mountains the water will be running, so it is known as what? Fountain, a natural spring of water. A natural spring of water. Next, prevail, gain control, that is victory, win a fight. So here prevailing means you have one aim, so you want to win that game, so you are controlling yourself. You don't want to do any other bad things there. So where is your concentration? That is on your victory. You want to win that fight. Did you understand, children? Shall we move on for next one? Next one is scene. So Seen means something spread out to weave. That is seeing the nature. Something spread out to weave. So in this poem you can see all through you can see what nature is covered. So you can see the poet is very happy to see the scenery of the nature. What is seen means sceneries of the nature. He is weaving. View means he is observing. He is seeing the nature. So next you have anon. Anon, in a short time, soon. So in a short time means within something happening tomorrow. So when something is happening tomorrow means in a short time, it may be happen or no, or not. When something is happening tomorrow, soon, or in a short time. So did you understand, children? Okay, next we'll move on for the poem. So before going into poem, you open page number 10. You have some pre-reading text, that is task. Pre-reading task will complete this questions. So you can see how many seasons do we have in a year. So here you have spring, summer, autumn and winter. You have what? Spring, summer, autumn and winter. We have 4 seasons. They are spring, summer, autumn and winter. So these are the seasons of the year, which so this poem is related to the nature. So in the month of March, what do you mean by March? March means it is a month. So you have January, February and March. So in the March, that is in the month of March, what are the activities that is been done? So in the that is the month of that is spring season. When the March come, the season, which is the season, that is spring season will come in the March. So the poet is explaining in the spring season how the nature is there, how the nature is described. So next question you have, which season comes after winter? Can anyone tell? After winter, which season will come? So which season, can anyone tell me? Oh, that is which? Winter season. Spring season comes after winter season. After winter season, what you have? The spring season will come. Okay, before what? Spring season comes after winter season. First you have winter, then you have the spring season. So next, shall we move on for third question? So these are only to explain for you. Okay, these are related questions to the poem. What changes do we see in nature in spring? So in the spring season, how can you see the nature? What type of how the nature is formed? So here during spring season, nature is greenish everywhere. You can see everywhere green, because that is in the month of November, and that is October, November, you would have sowed the seeds, and you can see from January only the what the plants have been grown from the seeds. So you can see what the nature is full green. The nature is very green everywhere. You can see the color is green. We can see colorful, that is flowers blooming in all plants, creepers and trees. What can you see? You can see even the colorful that is flowers blooming in all plants, creepers and trees. So you have the colorful flowers. When you see, when the nature is very beautiful, you can see along with the nature you have many animals and plants connected to the nature. So you can see the birds are very happy. You can see the what you can see even the insects are also very happy with the nature, because it is the food which the nature which provide food for the, that is for the animals and insects. During this month, already the poet has told you that how the nature will be. The nature is very greenish everywhere. Okay, so you can see, when you can feel that we can see colorful flowers blooming in all plants means, you can see the even the insects are been coming there. So shall we move on for the poem, children? So I am going to read this poem. So before going into the poem, I would like to explain little about this poem. So the poem is about March. The poem March is written by William Wordsworth. What is the poet's name? William Wordsworth. He was Williams Wordsworth is the poet of the poem. He is a famous Rome So William Wordsworth is known as a romantic poet. So in this, what do the poem is related about? In this poem, the poet that is lyrically described the beauty of nature during the spring season. So I told you March, in the that is in the month of March, which season will come for you? The spring season. So how is the spring season described? Spring is a colorful season. It brings cheerfulness and new activities in all living being. The world appears fresh. So in this season you can see the world is very fresh. So already I have told you how it looks, greenish everywhere. Greenish everywhere we can see colorful, that is flowers blooming in all the plants and creepers also. So spring is a colorful season. It brings cheerfulness and new activities, that activities in all living. Activities means you can see all the, you can see on the flowers who are sitting, the honeybees are sitting for what? To nectar. Okay. Then activities on all living being in the world appears fresh and beautiful and evoke a sort of new vigor in all the living being. So here all the human beings are what that is in the nature, all are very happy because it is a spring season, very, that is beautiful season. So shall we move on? This was just an introduction of the poem. So according to the stanzas I'll be explaining the poem for you. Children, please take out your pencil and be underlining the difficult words. So already open to your page number 11. Open to your page number 11. So already I've told you who is the poet of the poem, William Wordsworth. Okay, before that you can see the picture in the page number 10. See how beautiful is the nature. See, very, see, you can see the birds flying, that is chirping. You can see the farmer and his wife and the son, and you can see the cattle grazing here and there, and you can see a stream also, you can see the mountains. See how colorful it looks, no? So in the month of the spring the nature is very colorful. So I'll be moving on to the stanzas. Please open to the page number 11. So first stanza of this poem is: the cock is crowing, the stream is flowing, the small birds twitter, the lake dot glitter, the green field sleep in the sun. So once again, the cock is crowing, the stream is flowing, the small birds twitter, the lake dot glitter, the green field sleeps in the sun. So here the poet observes that spring, this is the spring time. The cock crows early at the sunrise. Sunrise, how you have seen the cocks, no, but not in cities you cannot find. But when you go for the villages to your granny's house and all, you can see early morning, that is during the, that is the sunrise. You can see along with the sunrise you can hear the sound of the cock is crow. The cock crows early at the sunrise. A new and a beautiful day start. So early, when you hear the sound of the cock, the, that is it's crowing, you can say that the morning is already, the morning has begun. So next line: the stream nearby flowing lazy, as it is green and colorful everywhere. The birds twitter happily sitting on the lush green trees. You can see even the birds, that birds twittering. So already I told you the birds, how the, it make continuously sounds. It make continuously sound sitting on a tree. The, how the nature is green all over. You can see the green color, that is the nature has been seen very beautiful in the spring season. The green fields appear to be sleepy in the warm sunny morning. So when you get up early in the morning, when you go to the that is the field, you can see what you can see. The green fields appear to be sleeping in the warm sunny morning. Still the morning has begun, and you can see all the that is the plants which are, how it looks as if they are sleeping, as if they are sleeping in the warm sunny morning. Okay children, did you understand? Did you understand the first stanza? As I told you, the cock is that is crowing, that the cock is crowing, the stream is flowing, small birds twitter. So it is making how it is making, it is making a loud voice, that is continuously. The lake dot glitter. So how it feels when you see the lake, you feel how it feels, you can see the morning sunlight falls on the water. You feel the stars are glittering in the lake. You feel how the stars are glittering in the that is in the water, that is in the lake. The green fields sleep in the sun. So how you feel when you go for the field, you can see all the grass is sleeping, all the grass is sleeping you feel in the sunlight, that is in the early morning. Okay, shall we move on for the next stanza, children? Next, the oldest and the youngest are at work with the strongest. The cattle are grazing, their heads never raising. There are 40 that is feeding like one. The oldest and the youngest are at work with the strongest. The cattle are grazing, their heads never raising. There are 40 feeding like one. Okay, in the second stanza, that is, the oldest and the youngest are at work with the strongest. The cattle are grazing, their heads never raising. There are 40 feeding like ones. So here, what does the poet here is telling about is, after a long winter, so before the spring season, which season is there? We see the winter season. So in winter season, how they are, any work is not completed. So any work is not completed because of the rains. So most of the time what we do, we stay in the houses. So after the long winter, the people of village are working in their fields. So in winter you have most heavy rains. So during the winter season you cannot do any harvest, that is you cannot grow any crops. So the farmer is waiting for which season? That is the spring season, which comes during the March, which come in the month of March. So what the farmer is doing, after the long winter, the people of the village are working in their fields. In the fields, the old and the young together are work with the other strong, youthful, that is people of the village. So here the oldest and the youngest means oldest means like parents, and the youngest are the children's. So you don't have any age bars here. All are working in the field. All are working in the field as they are very happy because of the spring season. This is the harvest season. Harvest season. So you can see even the strongest and the youthful people of the village working in their field. The cattle are grazing, their heads never raising. There are 40 feeding like one. So here the cattle are grazing happily without even raising their head, because I told you before only how is the nature, and the nature is very green. Green means you can see the grass is grown everywhere. Wherever your eyes goes, you can see in the fields or outside the fields, you can see the grasses are grown. So even the cattle are very happy for their growing. Even the cattle did not come for grazing in the winter season. They are happy in the spring season that they have got something to eat now. Even while grazing, what they are doing, they are not raising their head at all. They are happy in grazing. They are happy in eating. Okay, next, they are 40 feeding like one. So this appear like the idioms. 40 feeding like one means all their heads are bent and they are grazing in unison. That is all together. Unison. This is an idiom. 40 feeding like one is an idiom. So here all together, all the cattle are very happy. Togetherly they are having their what? Grazing together, having their meal or anything, they are happy together. How we eat in the home and all, no, when we are happy, when we see anything. So even here the cattle are very happy. What do you mean by cattle? The cows, the buffaloes and all. Cattle means the cows, buffaloes and all. When you see, have you seen in the villages during the spring season and all? Yeah, even you take your cattle for grazing purpose for the fields. So even the farmers have taken out their farm. Even the farmers have taken out their cattle for grazing. So their heads never raising, they are 40 feeding like one. So all their heads are bent and they are grazing in unison, that is together. They are grazing all together. They are not bothered what the nature is telling. They are only bothered about grazing. They are only bothered about grazing. They are not afraid of anyone. Okay, shall we move on for next stanza, children? Okay, that is the next stanza we have. Like an army defeated, the snow hath retreated, and now doth fare ill. On the top of the bare hill, the ploughboy is whooping anon on anon. So, like an army defeated, the snow hath retreated, and now doth fare ill. On the top of the bare hill, the ploughboy is whooping anon anon. So, what does this means? So, here the snow on the land has melted in the warm spring sun. So, I think you have noticed already the spring. So, it is the starting of next season after the spring season, which you have the summer season, which you have after the spring season you have summer season. So you can see the snow on the land has melted in the warm, that is in the warm spring sun. So during the spring season you don't have that much cold, but it is very pleasant. The spring season is known as a pleasant season among the four seasons. Only a little snow is left on the top of bare hills, on top of bare hills, that is now doth bare hills means, now doth bare hills means only a little snow is left on the top of the bare hills. So you can see that is in the winter season how foggy it looks when you see in the early morning. And I think when you can observe when you are traveling early morning, you can see how the fog is covered, it has been said that even when you go near the hilly that is hilly areas and all, the snow is covered to the tip of the hill. So you can see the snow is covered. Okay, so that is in the winter season. So how in the spring, when the spring season has started, the snow has started melting, only a little snow is left on the top of bare hills, that is and now dot fair, that is fair hills. Fair ill means what is that means, only a little snow is left on the top of bare hills. Next, the snow is compared to a defeated army. So it is like the snow is defeated, it is an, so here what do I mean to say is you have two armies. For example, it is an example, you have two armies. So one army that is already defeated, that is snow already defeated, which has reached humility, which has lost his what, that is one army has already lost his war, that he gets, when you lost a war, what will happen, you will get only humility, far away from the battle. So who has won, another army has won the battle, and another army, one army it is defeated, that you get only humility. The plowboy is that is whooping anon. So already I told you. So the plowboy is what he has bought, he has bought the cattle to the fields. So he is shouting anon, sooner joyfully, he is very happy with the in the field. So he is telling to he is very happy and he is doing his work, and he is cheering the cattle also to have nicely, to feed them very nicely. So children, did you get here? Do you have any doubts? Children, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. So already I have completed now three stanzas. Next you have the third stanza. After this stanzas, I will be explaining the summary for you all through. So there is joy in the mountains. There is life in the fountain. Small clouds are sailing. Blue sky prevailing. The rain is over and gone. So here there's joy is in the mountain. There's life in the fountain, small clouds are sailing, blue sky prevailing, the rain is over and gone. So here the mountain slopes are now filling with colorful plants. So you can see when you climb a mountain, you can see in the spring season, wherever the place is there, wherever you see the mud, you can see the small plants which are coming out. A sight which brings joy to see the eyes and mind of the observer. The spring flowing down the mountain slopes are now alive with water from melting snow. So you can see how the water is melting from the fountain. So you can see the snow is melted up in the that is from the tip of the mountain, the snow is melted, and how it is coming, it is coming in the form of a fountain. It is coming, you can see the water is coming in the form of the fountains floating about how it is floating with water from the melting snow. Little clouds are floating about under the blue sky. So you can see you have the sky is truly clear. It is very clear, though you can see the small clouds which are floating in the skies. How you can see the poet is describing the nature in the month of the spring. Small clouds are sailing, blue sky is prevailing. So I told how the sky is. The sky is truly what blue, though you can see a small clouds are sailing, small clouds are sailing. The how you can see the clouds are like white in color or light blue in color, which are sailing in the blue sky. The rain is over and gone. The rain and the snow of the winter season is over and gone. So I told in the how is the winter season, that is you have almost it will be raining. So the rainy season has gone and the snow of the winter season has over and gone. Even the snow is melted and it is also gone, and the weather at springtime is pleasant and joyful. So I told you, so it is one of the best season among the four season. Which is the best season? Spring is the best and the pleasant season. So almost you don't have the summer will be coming, the summer will be starting in the spring season. You don't have any rains, you don't have any cold. It is one of the best season, one of the pleasant season of the that is of the year. So children, did you understand here? So this is only about the nature. So I'll be telling you the summary of this poem. So I told you who is the poet of the poem. William Wordsworth. So shall I describe, shall I tell you the summary of the poem? Okay. You have four stanzas in your that is in your poem. So I'll be explaining through the summary. So from the starting, I'll be telling from the starting. Please children, listen and underline the difficult words from in the poem. So the poem March is written by William Wordsworth. He was a famous, I told, romantic poet. In this poem, the poet lyrically describes the beauty of nature during the spring season. Spring is a colorful season. You can see that you can see the flowers, the greeneries everywhere. It brings cheerfulness and new activity in all living being. The world appears here fresh and beautiful and evokes a sort of new vigor in all living being. So here everyone are cheerful and everyone are happy, and they are welcoming the what? Spring season, that is after the winter season. Here the poet observe that in spring season the cock crows early at sunrise, a new and a beautiful day. The stream nearby flowing lazy as it is green and colorful everywhere. The birds twitter happily sitting on the lush green trees. So I told you how the birds are sitting and twittering continuously, because they are very happy with the nature. The green fields appear to be sleepy in the warm sunny morning. Next, after the long winter, the people of the village are working in the field. So I told you before, that is in the winter, it was in the winter season, I have told you that it will be raining. So they did not move to their fields. So when the spring has come, they have moved to the fields and they are very happy to work together. Even the old and the younger. Youngest means even the parents, even the children, small children are very happy to share their feelings. The cattle are grazing happily without even raising their heads. This appear like the idiom 40 feeding like one. All their heads are bent and they are grazing in this that is unison, that is all together. So here I told you the cattle are grazing, they are not bothered of anyone, they are not bothered of anything also. So they just want to graze, graze that is in the spring season, because they have a lot of things to graze. The snow on the land has melted in the warm spring, that is warm sun. The snow on the land has melted in the warm spring sun. Only a little snow is left on the top of the bare hills. The snow is compared to a defeated army which has retreated, that is humility, far away from the battle. The plough boy who is plowing the field is shouting and on, that is joyfully. So he is very happy. I told you the boy is very happy and he is shouting, and that is in joy. He is not crying, he is just shouting sooner for everyone, for the people who is working in the field and even the cattle. The mountain slopes are now filling up with colorful plants, a sight which brings joy to the eyes and mind of the observer. The springs flowing down the mountain slopes are now alive with the water from the melting snow. So I told how the mountain is. So on the tip of the mountain you have snow, and how it is melting now, it is coming in the form of fountains. The water is coming. So how it coming in the, that is in the area corner areas. So it is formed as a fountain. So water is formed as a fountain now. So the spring falling down the mountain slopes are now alive with water from the melting snow. Little clouds are, that is, floating about under the blue sky. The rain and the snow of winter season is over and gone. So I told you, in the winter season almost it will be raining. So the season has gone, which the winter has already gone. So the poet is concentrating on what? The which season? That is the spring season. Spring season. He is very happy to see the nature in the spring season, and the weather at spring season time is very pleasant and joyful. So you can see the spring season because you don't have any rains, and the greenery everywhere, or even all the human beings, even all the animals are very happy to see the spring season. So children, I hope already you have understood this poem. Please, you have to recite this poem, you have to memorize this poem. So I'll be asking you later on. If you have already understood, please underline the difficult words. The poem is very easy, so memorize the poem. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Thank you, children. So good morning, children. Today I'm going to discuss the question answers. That is, I've already completed the poem. That is for March of 6th standard. Which poem did I complete for you? March. So today I'm going to discuss the question answers and exercises of this poem. So please open to your page number 12. Open to your page number 12. So you have an exercises. Okay, shall we start, children? I think already you have started to memorize the poem. So I am going to continue this. That is, open to your page number 12. Complete this sentence with the best choice given. So there are questions and you have 4 options. Among that you have to tick one option for that. So the first one is, the poet is watching the scene from a place near a lake, near a field, near a stream, on the top of a hill. So what is the answer for this? Yeah, that is a near a stream. Near a stream. The poet is watching the scene from a place. Where is that? That is near a stream. Tick second one for that. Second one. Tick second one for that. So next you have B. In the first 5 lines of the poem, the poet is speaking to himself. The second one, a companion, 2 friends, a group of people. So which is the answer for that? This, the first one. So he is explaining the lines about what he has observed in the nature, that is himself. That is, in the spring season, whatever he has observed, he is talking to himself. Next you have C, that is C. Children, that is for A is second one, and for B is first one. You have to tick the answers. For C it is, the plowboy is making loud cries. First one, you have the options here: to talk to the horses, to call out to the other workers, just to shout with joy, to give signals to the plowman. So what is the answer here? The answer is third one, just to shout with joy. So I told you the plowboy is very happy, so he's shouting. So he's shouting for all the people who are working in the field, he's just shouting, he's making the sound there. So did you understand, children? So next you have questions. So I'll be discussing the questions for you. So that is page number 13. Open to your page number 13. So what do you have? The first question: who are at work? Who are at work? So already I've told you, discussed while I'm doing the poem for you. So the answer is for this is, the oldest and youngest are at the work with the strongest. So the oldest and the youngest means the young and the parents and the children are very happy to work in the field, So did you understand, children? Shall I move on for second one, or shall I discuss once again for you the first one? Okay, I'll discuss you again the first one. who are at work. The oldest and the youngest are at work with the strongest. So did you understand, children? Shall I move for second one, that is B? Why are the cows not raising their head? So the cows are grazing the grass, so they are not raising their head. So already I have told you, the cows, the animals or the cattle are grazing because they are very happy after seeing the greenery everywhere, and they are not putting their head up at all because they are grazing, because the cows are grazing the grass, so they are not raising their head. What is the plowboy doing? What was the plowboy doing? So the plowboy was on the top of the bare hill. The plowboy is whooping and on and on. So what he was telling? He was telling and on and on. So and on means, I told, he was just shouting with joy. He was shouting with joy for the people who are working in the field, and he was grazing the cattle. So he was how he was shouting with joy. So next you have, that is fourth one. Why does the poet say that the snow is only on the top of the bare hills? So what is the answer for this? So it was a spring season. It was a spring season. So the snow is only on the top of the bare hills. So already only little bit it is there on the top of the hill. Other part it has already melted. The other part of the snow is already melted. Only little bit snow you can see on the, that is on the top of the hill. Okay, children, did you understand? Okay, next, that is the last question we'll discuss. Why is the poem called March? So I told you, why is the poem called March? Can anyone tell me? It's very easy. Why? Because shall I tell, or anyone will tell me the answer? Anyone can try. Okay, I'll be telling the answer for this. The poem describes nature as seen in the month of March. So already I have told you, the poet is been describing this poem as he has seen the nature in the month of March. So it is called the March as it is in the spring season. So the poet has described the nature which he has seen in the month of March. So this poem is known as the what? March, as it is in the springtime. So the nature he has observed the nature which is in the, that is in the spring season. Okay, children, do you have any doubts? Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, thank you, children. Have a nice day.